Hello and welcome back to ISpeakSpokeSpoken. My name is James and I am an English teacher and a native English speaker. So today we are going to be learning about to, for, in, on, at, and by. These are prepositions that we quite commonly use in English, and they show us and we're going to show you how and when to use them. So, what are prepositions? Prepositions are essential elements in English grammar, and they connect nouns, they connect pronouns and phrases to other words in the sentence. They can quite honestly change the whole meaning of a sentence, because if you have two parts of a sentence, that preposition is going to determine what you're actually talking about. So it's actually a very important part of the sentence, even though quite often they're the shortest words in the sentence. Okay, so yeah, they give us essential information about location, where something is, time, what time something is happening, when it happened, when it will happen, direction, so the direction in which something is going to happen or it's happening, and also much more. So we also have a preposition which is on. So this is a preposition that is very commonly used to describe where something is. So here, the book is on the table. So look, the book is on top of the table. It's not over the table, it's not under the table, it's on the table. And when we're using this in this sense, it needs to be it's not connected, but it needs to be touching that thing that it is on top of. There we go. And we can also use it as part of a prepositional phrase indicating location or time. So on Tuesday, on Wednesday, and something like this. But we'll go more in depth into this in a bit, as we have a lot more to do before we get there. These prepositions are often used as part of a phrasal verb. So a phrasal verb is a verb that has been added to with a preposition, and this can actually change the meaning of that verb. So if you look at what we have here, we have to keep, and keep on changes that from keep as to like it's to stay the same, but to keep on means to keep doing something, to continue that. And that is what it changes this phrase to. So keep on walking. And that is what a phrasal verb is. And they're very important. So try and remember as many as you can, and they will come up quite a lot when you're listening in English. That's perfect. So let's start off with the preposition to. So this is very common. So to is used to indicate a destination and a direction in which something is happening. So something like, she is going to the office. So where she is now is here, and her office is over here. So if you just said she and her office, you have no idea what we're talking about. But that's why we add the preposition. She is going to the office. So we're stating that the journey is happening from here to there, and there is the destination that she's going to, and that is our to. And we've also got, I gave the book to my friend. So the destination was my friend, and the book did that journey to my friend, and that was where that went. So this can also mean when you're giving something to someone else. So quite often maybe you would say to this person at the start of a email in which it's you could often say to, and then you will say the person's name in an email. But you wouldn't put this in an email if it's a very formal email. In that case, you would say dear. But you could say to this person in some cases. All right. Okay, so next we're going to be talking about the preposition for. So for can indicate purpose. It can indicate duration or something that someone is in favor of. They agree with something. They are for something. So let's have a look. So for the purpose one, this tool is for cutting. So you might ask, what does this tool do? And then the answer may be, this tool is for cutting. So it's showing the purpose, what the tool is used for. It's used for cutting. And that's how we use that there. Next up, we have duration. So this is part of our time, prepositions of time. So he has lived there for 2 years. The question might be, how long has he lived there? And we might say he has lived there for 2 years. That's the duration in which he has lived there. Lovely. Next up, in favor of. This is quite a common phrase that we would say. Are you for or against this decision? So people might say, are you for or against this? Which they're asking for your opinion. They're asking what side you're on, whether you think it's the right thing or you think it's the wrong thing to do. So are you for or against? And this is showing the difference between those two words there. Lovely. So next up, we have the preposition in. In is used to express something that is contained. So maybe you have here, so look, so she put the cookies in the jar. Here's our jar, and we can see through our jar, and here are the cookies that she's put in there. But it's enclosed, no one else can see it. Only we know that the cookies are in the jar. Fabulous. So, or we would say it for a location, where something is. So, especially if it is a big space, like a country or something like this. So, he lives in New York. New York's a big place, right? And we're going to say he is in that space. He is in that big place. So yeah, imagine this is New York. It's definitely not the shape of New York, but maybe the person is here in New York. Fabulous. Next up, we're going to be talking about the preposition on. On, as we have said before, indicates that something is on top of something. That is the surface, and that is where the thing is, on top. And yes, so we tend to use this. We also use this for dates and time as well. So we could say, we will meet on Friday. So you're saying a certain point in the future on a certain day. And we will say on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, so on. So yes, specific days. And we would say this for a specific day there. It can't just be on any day. We would say on this day. Lovely. Next up, we have at. When do we use at? Let's see. So at is used to point out specific times and places with a higher degree of precision. So let's have a look. So specific location, because quite often these prepositions have both a preposition of space and also a preposition of time. So let's have a look. Specific location. Meet me at the entrance. So at the entrance, it's very specific, right? You're not just saying, meet me in this city. You're saying, meet me at this specific place. So here is the entrance, and they want you to meet them at that entrance. Okay, let's have a look now at specific time, because as we know, at is very specific here. So the show starts at 6 p.m. So 6 p.m. on the dot, that is what time it is, and it's very, very specific there. So at 6:30, at 6 o'clock, so on and so forth, but it's important that you use this with a specific time. So next up, we're going to be talking about the preposition by. When do we use by? We use by when we're talking about the method or the means of how we did something, or we're talking about the proximity, which is the space in which how things in space link to each other. And that is what proximity is. Or authorship. Who wrote or made something? That is the author of something. So let's have a look at some examples here. But first, if you go up to the right-hand corner here, you will see a link that will take you to everything that you've seen on the board behind me in this lesson. And you can also take a quiz down there that you can take and let us know how you did in that down in the comments. Also, if that disappears, you can see it down in the description below and you can click the link down there. So don't worry too much about it. Lovely. So let's carry on here. So the method. We traveled by train. So the question might be, how did you travel? How did you get there? What was the method of getting there? The method was the train. That was the method. So by train. We would say the method was by train. So we traveled by train. Fabulous. Proximity. The bakery is by the park. So it's showing where they are in relation to each other. So here is the park and here is the bakery. They're by each other. They're right next to each other here. Lovely. Okay, next up we have authorship. So this song was written by Lennon and McCartney. So you might ask the question, who wrote that song? Or who wrote that book? And the answer would be da-da-da, da-da-da. And in this case, Lennon and McCartney wrote that. Okay, so we want you to test your knowledge now and see how many of these questions you can get right. Lovely, so let's go. Number 1, I will meet you the coffee shop. What do you think? I will meet you at the coffee shop. Good job, good job. The painting was done, a famous artist. The painting was done by a famous artist. Good job. So he has been studying English 3 years. What do you think? He has been studying English for 3 years. Perfect. That's how long he's been doing it. They are traveling to Japan, plane. This is the method of how they're getting there. So how? So they are traveling to Japan by plane. So by is what we use when we're having how. There we go. So the meeting is scheduled Monday morning. The meeting is scheduled for Monday morning. Good job. He is very good playing the guitar. He's very good at playing the guitar. Good job. The keys, the table, the hallway. The keys are on the table in the hallway. Fabulous. We walked the store to buy some milk. We walked to the store to buy some milk. Good job. The book was written, Mark Twain. The book was written by Mark Twain. Fabulous. She is work right now. She is at work right now. Good job. Let us know how you did. We'd love to hear. And thank you very much for watching the video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and share. And I've been James. This has been I Speak Spoke Spoken, and joyfully